Hi, so this is going to be the intro to my next part in the Wegovy Diaries. I don't know if I'm at part like 8 or 9 or 7. I don't know where I'm at. It is July something today, like the very, very end of July, July 23rd. And I started filming like a what I eat in a day type of video, and then it turned into what I eat in a week, and then I just do this thing where I get distracted and I don't finish what I started. So at the very end of this Wegovy Diaries, I include some of the things that I've eaten over the past couple of weeks. It's not in order, and it's kind of just all over the place, which is my own fault, and I know that, but if it's helpful to anybody, that's at the very, very end, and that is just some recipes that I've been trying out, some stuff that I eat like more on a regular basis and whatnot. So that's that. So this is the beginning. We're gonna go back in time. I think we're still in June at the beginning of this video, but I will be back to update with today. So when you see me again, hello from the future. Okay, bye. It's like they wait for me to start filming. Okay, so ignore the chicken who's actively laying an egg. I just woke up. We're gonna go to the lake today and do some swimming, maybe get a snow cone. But I just wanted to come and update and say that I'm officially 126 today, 126.8. So I was like fluctuating between 127 and 129 for a while. Today, 126.8. I have chosen to not weigh myself as often as I think I've mentioned previously, just because like that's when I start to spiral. So not weighing myself. I have been doing more strength training and more cardio and just like getting more steps in general and being more active like around the house. The last couple days it's been easy because I've been organizing the closet and like doing a bunch of laundry, getting rid of things, trying to make my house, my small house, a little bit more organized because we have too much stuff for the amount of space that we have. So getting rid of things. There's some things that I want to keep, but they're like 2XL. I just really love some of the stuff that I have, especially like I have a Halloween sweater that I really want to keep. So we'll see if it still looks decent on me. But yeah, 126. Still super struggling with loose skin issues. I was just hoping that it wouldn't be me, but of course it is. Like, I should have known that that's something that I would have problems with. Obviously working out for a couple weeks isn't going to fix that, so I just need to stay consistent, keep going, and hopefully I'll see some results from that. Pretty much everything that I've read says there's nothing you can do about it. Like, working out might help. And then some things that I've read say that, like, after a year of weight loss, things can tighten back up. So, I don't know. I guess stay tuned for another year. I'm going thrifting on Thursday because I did get rid of a shitload of clothes. And hopefully I can find some cute stuff at the thrift stores. We have like 7 or 8 thrift stores up here. Usually I can find a couple things, you know. We're very like old people town, so sometimes we can find stuff. It's kind of hard. Anyway, that is all I've got for right now, but I will be back later. Oh, today is June 24th. June 24th. I am still trying to lose weight. My doctor's given me until September to lose 10 pounds, and I've lost 4. And I don't know what I'm gonna have for breakfast. I am currently sitting here the day before payday, so we're low on like groceries in the house. We've got like plenty of protein, but we do not have like a lot of vegetables. So I'm trying to think like what would be good for dinner. Maybe like some chili. Except for that it's supposed to be like 100 degrees out today, and like a hot bowl of chili just doesn't sound good. So I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight, but I kind of wanted to like mention that I'm also on quite a budget. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and we don't make that much money, you know, so I used to qualify for food stamps, and now I am down to $82 a month in food stamps, which has already been spent this month on like just like pantry staples. I find that's the best way to get the most for that money. And my boyfriend's probably getting another raise at work soon, so it's likely that we won't qualify for it at all anymore once that happens. So that's, I mean, it's great that he's getting a raise. That'll be helpful. But anyway, we are on a budget, financially just not well off. Like, the bills are paid, but it's hard to get, like, other things sometimes. So this payday, there's actually, like, mostly bills. So I don't know how many groceries I'll even be able to get. But like I said, we have tons of protein. And I have, like, rice and quinoa and stuff for carbs. But I don't have a lot for, like, fiber. So hopefully I'll just be able to get a bunch of, like, vegetables on payday. And I'm sure I will. Not work out yesterday. I could have. I did some steps around the house, but I did not hit 10,000. I go through these phases, which I believe is from my ADHD, where I get, like, super, like, high energy, happy, like, getting all kinds of stuff done around the house, and then I, like, crash. And this last crash was about 3 to 5 days. Day 3, it, like, peaked, and then I started feeling better day 4. Today's day 5, so I feel better. I just, like, I don't know why that happens to me, and I think I should probably, like, get medicated for my ADHD, but I also don't want to do that because I will be getting pregnant next year, and, yeah, so it's just a lot. Anyway, that's not, not a big deal, not a problem, but today I feel better. That's the important part. A bunch of stuff I need to do today. I need to go down and work on the hot tub. It's just, like, cloudy and weird looking, so I need to take care of that, and then clean the house, and then tomorrow we have, like, a big family, like, lake day. So the lake doesn't allow you to bring in food. It's, like, the rules there are insane, because, like, I understand why, like, we can't bring in food, because they don't want people's trash and messes and stuff, but, like, also, I have a 4-year-old who eats all day long, and they have a snack shack there, and it used to be delicious and healthy, and, like, you could get vegetarian options and stuff like that. Now somebody else bought it, and the only healthy option is a veggie burger, and I don't like the fake meat, like, processed meat that they make, the fake, whatever. I think it's a Beyond Burger that they have there. I'm not knocking Beyond Burgers. I think they're great. They're better than, like, a lot of other options that have been around. But, like, that's probably the healthiest option. I think they might have a salad, so maybe I'll get that. But my daughter, like, I pretty much just let her get whatever she wants. I'm not trying to give her any issues with food like how I have. So if she wants a corn dog or whatever, then that's what she'll get. And if I get a salad, she'll eat that too. Like, she eats everything, which I think is great, because I know there's a lot of kids out there that won't. But, yeah, so tomorrow's going to be a little hard around lunchtime, and then dinner, we're supposed to go back over to my grandma's house and have hot dogs, and I just think I've had enough hot dogs. I had a hot dog on 4th of July, and then I had one yesterday, and I think I need to be done with them for a while. So, yeah, there's that. But I'll be swimming all day, and I'll be, getting a lot of movement in, so that's not going to cancel it out, but it'll make me feel better about it. So, yeah, obviously, I'm still working through issues with food and, like, repairing my relationship with food. It is a lot better than it was. It's just I still have issues with food. So part of me is like, just go and get whatever you want to get. And then the other part of me is like, no, you need to make healthy, sustainable choices, because there may be a day where I'm not on Wegovy anymore, and I need to remember how to make these choices, because the food noise is going to be back, So that's how it's going to be for my whole pregnancy, and, like, I can't just succumb to every craving that I get, My doctor already told me, like, this time you have to be way more careful with weight gain. She said that there's a chance, well, a pretty good chance, that I'll be able to get back on Wegovy once I'm done, like, breastfeeding and stuff. So that made me happy. She said she hasn't had any problems with my particular insurance letting people go back on the shot. So that made me feel better. I might do, like, a whole video on that. But, yeah. So it's just, like, yeah. And, like, we're ready to have another baby. I am waiting until next year, just so that I can be a little bit more mentally prepared. and a little bit more financially prepared. As I said, we do struggle. We can afford the bills, but then after bills, usually there's not a lot left. And like I said, my fiance might be getting a raise, and well, it's looking like he is. There's just a lot going on at his place of employment right now. They're very short-staffed, just like everywhere else, and they're dealing with a death right now of one of the employees. So now they're more short-staffed because of that. Obviously, it was terrible and tragic and, like, really sad. But I'm just hoping that he texts me and he's like, hey, I got that raise, I got that job. So it's like a promotion. Not really a raise, but a promotion. It would be a big fat raise, though, and it would for sure kick me off of food stamps. If it kicks me off of my insurance, because I do get Medi-Cal, I don't know if they count his income as, like, my income, because we're not married. So I don't know how that works exactly. I know that they count kids' income separately or whatever. I don't know how it works. I would have to talk to, like, my worker, but that's what I'm on right now. That's paying my Wegovy. When I started Wegovy, I still had my mom's insurance, and I was paying $20 a month for it. And then when I lost my mom's insurance, I was super scared about losing my doctor and my Wegovy, because at that point I hadn't lost that much weight. I lost it like a couple months after I got on Wegovy is when they kicked me off my mom's insurance, so I was really scared about not being able to see my doctor. But what happened was my doctor actually works at a clinic that is covered by Medi-Cal, so I just had to move clinics from, like, the bougie fancy one, I guess, to their, like, budget one. It's kind of fucked up, actually, like, how different the offices are, because I know they make enough money, but whatever. Still covered, luckily, so if you're on Medi-Cal and you're like, I don't know if I'll get covered, you probably will, especially if you have PCOS and you have a kick-ass doctor like me who wrote a letter to my insurance, like, basically saying I need to be on this or I will die, is what it said. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm almost to 120. I'm 126 today. That is my goal weight. Like, 120 is my goal. And originally it was 100, so these things do change. I feel pretty good right now. The only thing I don't feel good about is the loose skin, and, like, but I think it's starting to tighten up a little bit. I've been using lotions and potions on it. I don't know if that's working at all, because I've read that, like, those don't actually work and that they're a waste of money. I feel like they are, though. I was using this super expensive one that my mom gave me, and I could not afford it. It was $100. I forget what it's called. It's like some firming lotion. And I bought, like, the Palmer's cocoa butter firming lotion that was $7, and I think that's working too. So I didn't use it last night. I just passed out. But every night, usually after a shower, I will put that on all the areas that I think need to be addressed. And then I think also I've been working out more, and I think that's helping too. I don't think it's going to completely get rid of all the loose skin, especially in my stomach. Like, I don't know what to do about that. But, I can't afford surgery, and the only way insurance will cover that is if it's, like, a problem, like it's causing, like, sores, or it's making it so you can't walk, like if it's causing issues with, like, daily living, then insurance might cover it. But for me, it's just uncomfortable to, like, feel and look at, you know, and it's not the body that I want, but I am, like, close to the weight that I want, so I'm trying not to complain too much. I just don't see the point in trying to save money for a surgery right now if I'm gonna get pregnant. And I do want more than 2 kids. I have one right now. The plan is to have another one next year. I want, like, a huge family. So we'll see after baby number 2, because things can change. My pregnancy was really hard with the first one. People think that I'm crazy for wanting another one. So yeah, this is 11 minutes long. This is the ADHD that I'm talking about. I came down out of that depression, like climbing back out of it, and now I can't stop talking. I'm a yapper, okay? I am gonna go now. I have to go do a bunch of stuff down at my grandma's house. I need to water her plants and stuff because she's out of town. So I'm gonna go do that, make my child breakfast, think about what we're gonna do for dinner tonight, take out some form of meat or protein, and maybe we'll do turkey burgers. That sounds pretty good, actually. And I can make buns, which would be crazy because it's not hard. It's just, like, a lot of steps. But I could at least do that and then make, like, a high protein bun sort of situation. So I don't know. We'll talk about it later. Okay, bye. Hello, it is Saturday, July 12th, and this is my update for the Wegovy Diaries. My period's late, which is annoying because when I'm not on birth control, typically it's very, very predictable and regular, especially, now that I'm on Wegovy. When I first started Wegovy, my periods were regular immediately, so it's a little bit annoying. Today's day 2. I'm only 2 days late. And I know it's coming because I've got cramps and I don't feel great. Yesterday I felt even worse. Not pregnant. Took a bunch of tests just in case. Definitely not pregnant. So that's what's up with that. I was 125.0 this morning, which is exciting. Working out has been pretty much non-existent other than swimming. I was doing pretty good for a while there, and I don't know. I read this, I don't think it was a study. I think it was just an article about people with anxiety and how likely they are to exercise. And if you have anxiety that manifests as physical symptoms like a high heart rate, difficulty breathing, lightheadedness, all of that, you're actually less likely to work out, because working out, especially cardio, makes you feel all those things, and it doesn't make your brain think the happy thoughts that regular people think when they're working out. So I think that's my problem. My anxiety for sure manifests physically, and working out just usually tires me out and I can't do anything else for the rest of the day pretty much. So it's like forcing myself into a panic attack almost. So I don't know what to do about that. I want to exercise. I want to move my body. That was rude. I don't get the mental health benefits that normal people do. And I'm down to a healthy weight at this point. So working out isn't even necessarily that hard anymore. But it just is a lot on my brain. And, I don't know how there was ever a time where I was doing it regularly every single day. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. I talked to my cousin, who is actually a Pilates instructor. She lives kind of far away, so I cannot join her classes. It would just be too much gas and all of that. But she gave me some recommendations for some Pilates videos that I could do. So I'm going to try that. She also gave me a recommendation for a protein shake it looks good. It's got good ingredients. If it is good, I'll let you know. It's very expensive. So, will it be worth the cost? Possibly. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for today. My diet's been great. The other thing is that yesterday I was super nauseous. I have a feeling it has to do with my period though, because I've been on 2.4 since August, September of last year, for a pretty long time now. And I don't really get the nausea anymore unless I'm eating super high fat foods. And I woke up with the nausea yesterday. I took a Zofran because I still have a bunch left because I don't really need them anymore. And I felt better until 1, and then so I took another one, and then I felt better until 5. I did not take a Zofran. I had some ginger tea and I took a bath, and that helped. And today I'm fine. So I don't know what the random really bad nausea was about. I fully convinced myself that I was pregnant because my period's late, and I'm cramping and I'm having all the period symptoms but no period. So I took tests last night, I took them yesterday morning, and I took one this morning too, and they're all negative. So I have a feeling if I was pregnant, the nausea and stuff, my hormones would be high enough to trigger a positive on a pregnancy test, right? So I'm not pregnant. It's just weird late period. I don't know. I will let you know when it starts, but it's just interesting because losing weight and being on Wegovy has almost reversed my PCOS. I'm not dealing with the PCOS symptoms as frequently. I will say they do still happen, but not as frequently. So it's a little discouraging. However, I'm still losing, which is what I wanted. And right now my concern is I need to be building muscle. I need to be exercising. And it's just so hard for me for some reason. So, and I know people are going to say oh my God, just do it. I don't know why I can't do that. I don't know if it's ADHD or that whole anxiety thing or what, but it's really hard for me. So goal right now is 120. So that means that I'm 5 pounds away from my goal. It just depends on how I feel when I get there. Okay, I'm 5 feet tall. You know, I've talked about my issues with BMI and all of that, and I'm just trying to get to a place where I feel good in my body. Right now, my biggest insecurity is my arms. It's interesting, like, losing all of this weight and then ending up with new insecurities. New things to worry about. I will say, I feel like my loose skin is getting a little bit better. I don't know. I need to take some more pictures. I haven't really been keeping up on pictures because I've been filming. So I figure, you know, I show myself enough times, like my full body, but I need to have pictures so I can like put them side by side. So anyways, 125 today though, which is great. And I remember being so excited when I hit 129 because I was finally in the 120s. This is pretty much the weight that I was in high school. I was 120 in high school. And I was self-conscious about my arms back then, now that I think about it. My thighs too. My stomach, of course. Everyone's self-conscious about their stomach. But I just feel like my body looks so different than it did back then. I've had a child since then. I've grown since then. Like, you know, I'm not going to look the exact same that I did in high school. I wish I did. But I did still have, like, pretty beefy looking arms. Now that, like, looking back on pictures, like, there was some things that I was insecure about for no reason. But, like, my arms definitely were bigger than, like, a normal, like, teenagers, I guess. Even though my weight was normal. I don't know if my arms are just, like, built that way, if it's, like, a genetic thing, like, what that's about. But they are large. So I really need to work on that. And I need to find a way of doing that that doesn't trigger, like, an anxiety response in my body. So I don't know if anybody is watching this, but if you are and you have suggestions for like exercises that don't do that. I love to swim. I cannot swim every single day though. I don't have access to a pool every day. I have access to a pool maybe like twice a week, which is great. But yeah, so I don't know. I wish that I could swim every day. Maybe I'll get like one of those bigger blow up pools, you know, and just like do laps. The issue with that is my landlord, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna debate it. I'm gonna talk about it, and I will be back. The update is my period started. So, and it like came in ready to kill me. So, hi, I'm so unbelievably tired and the sun is like close to my eyes, but today is the 13th of July and I just wanted to like come and do an update. I'm 124.8 today. I'm on my period, so that's fun. It was late and now it's here and it's kicking my ass. Yesterday was worse though. And basically I wanted to talk about meal prepping a little bit because it saved me today. It's like hard work to do it, I know. And like who has time, right? But today, like, I normally eat around, like, 10 or 11, and it was almost noon, and I just, like, was not hungry yet, and then all of a sudden, I got, like, starving, so I had my meal prepped in the fridge, and I added a little extra something. I did cook some, like, chickpea, like, cakes sort of things, but those were, like, super quick and easy to make. But if I hadn't had those meal prepped, I would have gone for the first thing that I found, like, that I could find. Like, whether it be healthy or not. So it's really important for me to meal prep. So I think I want to do like a video on meal prepping and like how I do it. Just have stuff easy access in the fridge. And then the other thing that I do is I always get too much dinner ingredients. And then I eat those leftovers usually the next day for lunch or breakfast or whatever. So that's just an easy way to do it. Like, you're cooking dinner anyway, just make extra, and then you have it ready to go for, like, you don't have to eat breakfast food for breakfast. You can eat dinner for breakfast. There are no rules. Time isn't real. All of these things are made up and stupid. So I highly recommend, like, at least doing that. The other thing that I do is I will cut up fruit and just, like, have it in the fridge already cut up, ready to go. Sometimes I feel like I get a little bit low blood sugar, and that helps me a lot. I get frozen fruit for my smoothies, just dump it in the blender, add water, add protein powder, done, that's it. Easy peasy. It really helps, I think, especially because I have ADHD. And I don't know, I like just don't feel hungry until I'm starving now. So it's good to have those things on backup. So that's all. 124 is a great 124.8 is like a huge accomplishment for me. I'm very excited about it. That means like I'm 4.8 pounds away from goal. Anyways, if you can't tell, I'm getting my ass handed to me right now by my period, and I should be sleeping. I wish that I could be sleeping right now, but I can't, so I'm letting my child play outside with the sprinkler because that'll keep her busy so that I can sit on my butt, because that is what I'm doing on my period today. It is like, it's not that bad. I've had worse, but I'm so unbelievably tired. So yeah. Okay, bye. Good morning. I'm gonna be honest with you. This isn't what my hair normally looks like in the morning. I kind of like smoothed it out a little bit. It was a lot worse than that. Anyway, I kind of just wanted to give like the game plan here, and then hopefully we stick to it. We'll stick to it. But my plan is to find a form of exercise that I enjoy other than swimming, because I think I already said like swimming I could do every day all day. I just don't have access to a pool where I can swim in every day. I'll probably do that Wednesday or Thursday just to get a break from whatever. But today I'm doing Pilates. I have a cousin who teaches Pilates, and she was pretty optimistic that it would be great for me. She said like along with that you should lift weights too. Just because, you know, I told her like my main issue is loose skin right now, and just like I do want to get stronger, but also I really want to kind of tighten up and tone up a little bit. So she, you know, she said to do both. So while I'm on the walking pad, I'm gonna carry weights. And I think I've always thought that ankle weights were like a huge scam, but on the walking pad, I don't see how those wouldn't help, you know? So I'm gonna get some. I don't have any right now, but I am gonna get some ankle weights, like light ones, nothing crazy. And then when I'm on the walking pad, I'll wear those for as long as I can, and then I'll take them off and like finish walking or whatever. I don't know. I don't have like a routine in mind. So yeah, that's the plan. I was 124.8 yesterday. I did not weigh myself today because, as I've mentioned, weighing myself every day kind of makes me crazy. Plus, I'm on my period, and I tend to gain a bunch of weight on my period that just like immediately comes off. And it's too much for my mental health, even though I know it's period weight. Like, it's just a lot on my brain to see the numbers go up, which is, again, my own problem with my mental health. And I've been working really hard on healing my relationship with food and weight and stuff. I have a lot of trauma from just like the way that I was raised, and you know, mean girls in high school and all of that. It's just the way that it is. So, and mean boys too. There was the, you know, it was a lot. It was a, you know, and mean adults, and just, you know, I could do probably a whole video on some of the things that I've experienced. Like one time I was shopping at TJ Maxx, and I forget why I was there, but there was this little boy in the cart with his mom. Not in the cart, he was out of the cart. He had to have been like 8. He was old enough to know better, you know, like my daughter's 4 and she's old enough that she knows better most of the time. Occasionally the impulse control isn't there and she'll say something a little out of pocket. But this little boy was like pointing at me and saying, "Mommy, look how big that guy is." And like I didn't say anything. I just like speed walked to the candle aisle and like took a deep breath and like, because I know, you know, I know how I looked, and that day in particular I also, you know, wasn't trying very hard on my appearance or anything. And she didn't say anything to him though. The mom didn't say anything. There was no like, you can't say stuff like that. It was very just like she's used to it, and like I don't know if she encourages it or what, but anyway, the sweater that I wore that day, I literally never wore it again, because in my brain that sweater made me look bigger than I was, even though it was one of my favorite sweaters at the time. just stuff like that. You know, I had someone tell me it looked like I shoved a hose up my ass and blew up. Like, there's so much fat shaming that happened. So my brain just made it into like, you're less of a person because of your size, which is not true. And if I could go back, I don't even know what I could do because my mental health was just in the dirt, like 6 feet under, non-existent. There's those little tidbits. But today is the day that I start Pilates. That was a side rant. Thank you, ADHD. Hopefully I like it. I'm not gonna just do it once and then, like, if I don't like it, give up. I'm gonna try a couple of different things. I'm strictly doing mat Pilates. I don't have like the machine that they use for Pilates. If I end up falling in love with it, then we can, you know, discuss getting one of those. Not that I have space for it at all, but maybe someday I will. And yeah, so that's that. I'm also deep cleaning one room a day for the next couple of days. Today's the kitchen. So that's probably going to take me a while, but after I'm done with that, that's when I'll do my workout today. So anyways, wish me luck on that. I am not taking measurements or anything. I know that that's like recommended. I'm going to take some before pictures, but measurements just like mess me up because it's never the number that you want to see. You know, and I don't have anything to compare it to from before either, so I'm not going to do that, but that's what's happening today. It's the 14th of July, by the way. And yeah, so I'm gonna go start on the house. Hopefully it doesn't take me that long. It's not that bad. I just like, I need to do the oven and the cabinets and the windows and the floors. Need more than just like a regular mopping. I think I need to like really get down like on my hands and knees and scrub it like Cinderella. Oh yeah, I'll let you know how I feel about Pilates. This was 8 minutes of me talking about nothing to say I'm doing Pilates today. Okay, it's July 23rd. I'm back. I was 123.6 this morning, which is crazy. I did start Pilates and I am so unbelievably sore. I do see myself really, really liking Pilates. I think that I could get really into it. It reminds me of yoga a lot, just like significantly harder. Not that yoga isn't hard too. Sometimes yoga can be crazy, but I think that it's something that I could continue doing, you know, for a while. So I will be doing that. Not today. Today we're just walking because I'm so sore. My legs are sore, my arms are sore, my stomach is sore, like my rib cage is sore. Everything hurts and everything's sore. So no Pilates today. I'm taking a little break, but I will be going for a walk later. And yeah, 123. Things are doing well. You know, 124 for a while there started stressing me out, as it does, and that's why I try not to weigh myself so often, but here we are. And yeah, so I need to work on that. I have therapy today, so I will talk about that. So yeah, that's it. This is going to be the last update for this episode, for this part of the Wegovy Diaries. So I will be back with a new one. Now you're going to see all the things that I've eaten. I'm going to do a voiceover probably for those. It's just like some healthy stuff. I have a Pinterest board with most of those recipes on it. There are some that weren't a recipe that I just kind of like threw together, but there are everything that I eat, like recipe wise, I get off of Pinterest. So I'll just link the whole Pinterest board in the description. Note that it's kind of more, it's inspirational. Like I've made a lot of those recipes, but I haven't made all of them. So I don't know if they're all good, but all the ones that I show in this video were pretty good. So that's that. That's the end of this installment, and I will be back pretty soon, I think. I don't really have anything going on, so like nothing's really changing other than working out. So Pilates, I think that might be the answer though. Might be the answer to my workout woes. So anyway, I will be back. Have fun. Enjoy. Bye. This is just a blueberry smoothie with a scoop or two of protein powder and a little bit of honey. And I just use water for the liquid in my smoothies. This is just chicken breast with red bell pepper and corn and an onion, and I like sauteed that, and that was dinner for this night. So I turned that chicken dish that I just showed you into a quesadilla. All I did was add cheese and put it in a tortilla, and this was actually really good and really filling. Okay, don't sue me for liking my steak well done, but this was dinner tonight. It was a Italian pasta salad, green beans, and steak. That is well done, yes, I know. Don't judge me. Every once in a while, your girl deserves a sweet treat, so I just do honey on toast, and that satisfies any sweet tooth that I have, usually. Okay, so dinner is this Mediterranean chicken salad situation. It's got Greek yogurt with dill and lemon and salt and pepper, and then it's got red onions, cucumbers, tomatoes. It calls for the green olives. I don't like those, so I didn't use those. Feta cheese, and then at the very bottom of this bowl somewhere is quinoa. So pretty good dinner, high protein, low carb. If you want lower carb, just get rid of the quinoa. Okay, so day 2, I did like these chickpea cake looking things. Same thing as last night, quinoa, tomatoes, cucumbers. I just didn't use chicken, and instead I used these things. This is just a 2-egg omelet with ham, cheese, and onion and broccoli. And I usually will do an omelet if I do eat breakfast.